Welcome to another episode of the Platform Podcast, Houston, Texas edition. We are finally here at the UIL State Semifinals. Man, we have some great games this weekend, 4A, 5A, and 6A. But man, we're gonna start this show off proper. We're gonna get straight to it. We're gonna get straight to it. This is the worst week to lose. Round five. You this close. You are this close to accomplishing your dream that you've been thinking about since you were probably before you was in the ninth grade. Especially for the seniors. Especially for the seniors. You are this close. And for the ones who never been here before, you definitely want to get it done. You definitely want to get it done because you don't know when you get the opportunity again. Even if you are an underclassman, it's not guaranteed. We've seen it. It's teams, who we thought would be here that's not here and not here. And some teams who haven't been here in a while. And they may have, had several back-to-back appearances, and since then they haven't been here. We see it all the time. So you gotta get it done. You this close. This is the worst possible week to lose. You don't even get the experience. You don't even get a medal. You don't even get the run up medal. Nobody wants the run up medal. Let's be honest. Nobody wants that, right? But you don't even get a taste of playing in Jerry World, so you don't even know what it feels like of competing for a state championship if you lose in this round. Losing the first round, that hurts as well. That sucks as well. But being this close, it's kind of like it's teasing you. It's a teaser. You got to get it done. You got to get it done. And I'll be honest, man. Over the last several years, DF Dub have been dominating GHA. If you don't know what GHA meant, Greater Houston area. DF Dub has just been dominating. We'll just keep it real. We'll call it what it is. The last time we've had multiple state championship winners were 2021 when we had first time Katy Pato when they knocked off College Station. Then we had North Shore the last time that they beat Duncanville. In 2021, that was the last time we had multiple state championship winners. In 2022, we had none. In 2023, we had none. 24, last year we had Randall. We had one. This year we have a chance of having three state championship winners. We got to get it done. But first, it starts this week, fellas. It starts this week in 5A Division 2, 6A Division 2, and 6A Division 1. We gotta bring home that goal. But first, we have to make it there. And there are some tough matchups. We're going to go ahead and get straight to it right now. We have Bernie versus Richmond Randall. Now, this is an interesting matchup. These teams kind of like night and day in a way. The defenses are solid. I will give the edge to Randall. I don't think Randall is as strong defensively as they was the year before, but still solid. Bernie, they like to air it out. They're gonna throw that ball. They're by Grant Sweeney. They're gonna throw that ball. Randall, you know who on the other side. Black Jesus. Andrew Williams Callis. You know what he gonna do. You know what he gonna do. But I will say I'll give the edge to Randall because I believe this year their passing game has improved a lot. I don't think they get enough credit for because Landon he's so dynamic, man. He can rush for 300 yards, and that is their bread and butter. They want to run the ball. That is their bread and butter. But I think Tyler Skorobnik has improved as a passer, and just from the play calling, just to the receivers, everything has improved. Everything has improved, man. Mason is a tight end, so they have some weapons in the passing game, in the receiving game. So I think that's going to be big. Bernie, they can be a quick strike offense, a quick strike offense. They're going to put the ball in the air. They're going to challenge the secondary of Randall. But I think the secondary will make enough plays or get enough stops to get them off the field. I just think overall it's just too much. it's just too much Randall on the offensive side of the ball, man. I just feel like it's just too much, man. A couple weeks ago, we saw them put up 83 points. And I get it, this is a much different opponent in Bernie. But, man, last week they played our Colony. In my opinion, I felt like the winner of that game would go on to win state. And they won by 10. And I think our Colony is a little better than Bernie, honestly. So I expect this game, to go in the favor of Randall, probably by a double digit scores. I mean, about a couple scores in double digits win. So I think Bernie, they'll put up some points, but I don't think it'll be enough to withstand what Randall has to offer. So I got Randall going back to AT&T Stadium. Next we have uh CE King versus Vandergrift. Now this matchup for me is tricky. I picked C King. I'm just go ahead and say it. I picked C King. Honestly, I may have picked with my heart, and not saying that I don't believe in King. I think they can get it done. I do. There are reasons other than me picking with my heart, being my other than my bias or whatever you want to call it. I think they are the faster team, and I think they're going to get out to a quicker start than Vandergrift. Vandergrift are the defending champions, so you can't take that away. They are the defending state champions. You got to beat them. You got to knock them off. So they have that pedigree. They know how to win. They have that will to win. Man, like a lot of people didn't think they would be able to do it last year, and they not unfamiliar in this territory right here. This is their third time, what, in the last, or maybe 4 or 5 years in the semifinal. One year they lost. Actually, no, they made it to state twice already. They lost to DeSoto once, and last year they finally won it versus South Lake Carroll. And this year, man, like I said, they back to defend their crown. They knocked off Dripping Springs last week. They knocked off Westlake. So they the best team in ATX. And the best team in the Austin area. And we all know we always see Austin versus Texas in 6A. I'm sorry. Austin versus Houston in 6A. We see that pretty much every year. And see, King, this is their first time being here. We don't know if the light's going to be too bright. But I'm going to say it's not. Coach Laxon, got them boys ready to ride. They've been looking special all year. Even with, they had a loss early in the season to Dickinson. It was a one score game. Nothing to sneeze at. They lost to North Shore again. Nothing to sneeze at. But I feel like they look good in both those games, particularly in the second half against North Shore. Now they got off a little slow, which was unlike them, but they haven't missed a beat. They beat Summer Creek twice. They beat Atascocita. So they have some really good wins under their belt. I'm going to take that speed. I think quarterback Timothy Potts, he's improving each and every week. So they're not just a running team. They can throw the ball. They can hit you in our face. I believe the defense, that front four, will do enough. They'll get enough pressure on Tedeki. And I think King will pull it off, man. But this is one of those games where I'm side eyeing. I'm looking at it like, man, this can go either way. It's a coin toss. It's coin flip. It's coin flip game. I wouldn't be surprised either way. I'm rooting for King. There's no doubt about it. I think they do have the talent to get it done. So that's what I'm going to go with Dylan Mitchell, with Deion Sims, Braden Lane, Timothy Potts, uh, Carter. I think they're gonna get it done. They're gonna get it done. I think the first time you see them, AT&T Stadium, Beltway, King Boy. Now, finally, Lake Travis, Austin versus North Shore, Houston. Again, told y'all 6A is either Austin versus Houston. Excuse me, it's Austin versus Houston for like every year. And you with North Shore, they've been here the last 8 years. They've been here the last 8 years. They either playing Westlake or they playing Lake Travis. That's what it seemed like. This is the fourth meeting, if I'm not mistaken, 2018, 2019, and 2021. All the other years, 2020, they played Westlake. 2022 they played Westlake. 2023 they played Westlake. 2024 they played Westlake. In other years it's been Lake Travis. So these are the same matchups. Two two teams. That have that championship pedigree. Two teams that can get it done. Two teams used to getting it done. Lake Travis haven't made a state championship since 2017, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was 2017. Everybody, penciled in this matchup probably before the playoffs started, once the brackets came out. Pretty much a lot of people knew that it would probably either be North Shore versus Lake Travis. They were undefeated. I know some people still had, Westlake. Some people had Dripping Springs or whatever. But majority of the people had this matchup circled. And I think North Shore had a hiccup. And I'm not talking about the South Oak Cliff game. That was early in the season, first game of the year. Um, I think the hiccup was the Summer Creek game. The Summer Creek game where they got shut out. You never really seen that before. I do think that was an aberration. I think that was a fluke. Not Summer Creek winning was a fluke, but the whole getting shut out, you don't really see that. You don't really see that at all. But I think this is going to be a really good game. I think both teams are battle tested. Both teams will be prepared. I like North Shore. I think Caleb Maryland, he's the quarterback you want when games get tight, and you need him to stay poised, stay calm, stay locked in, stay loaded, stay ready for the big moments. Big plays gonna come. He can sling the ball, he can run the ball. He got receivers in Aubrey Johnson, Elliot Bocard, Dorian Smith. He got Hezekiah Johnson in the backfield. He got playmakers. He got playmakers. They don't have that superstar studded defense that they accustomed to having. But they still have a couple guys that can get it done. Shout out to Xavier Waters. Those boys still. It kind of reminds me of that 2021 team that didn't have all the names. On the defensive side of the defensive side of the ball. You had Denver Harris and I cannot remember Chris Ross. Yeah, Chris Ross in the middle. But they didn't have a bunch of guys on every level or at every position, that like that they used to have. And this team, they've been looking good offensively. Like I would say the last 2 years, I feel like a lot of stuff looked hard offensively, but I think it's much smoother this year, and I'm not sure, what to credit that change to, whether it's the play calling or whether they change things up in a personnel wise, the group, or whatever it is. But I think things look a little smooth. I think the offense is going to keep rolling. I think the defense is still stout. I think the defense will make enough plays to shut down. Well, I won't say shut down, but to limit Lake Travis offensive attack. So I'm taking North Shore, returning back to AT&T Stadium. So those are my picks. Those are my predictions. I will. Hey, check back in with me, see if it comes true, man. But that's what I'm rolling with. GHA, it's a must win. It's a must win. I would love for us to bring back all three. It start this week. We got to get it done. H-Town, well, this has been another episode of the Platform Podcast, Houston, Texas edition. I'm Nick Gradney, aka Stats G. We out.